About a week ago, I put out a question into my Inspiring Teachers Facebook group, and I asked the question, when do you teach SEL? And so many of the responses were things like, I teach it every day, or, I teach it in everything that I do. And see, that is the key to all of this social emotional learning stuff. Teaching these skills throughout the day and in all that you do. The thing is that there's so much need for teaching these skills that it's also good to have some kind of framework to follow without it taking time from your students' learning. And what districts are doing more and more is purchasing and implementing these huge programs where teachers need to find the time to teach the lessons inside of these programs. And oftentimes they're scripted and leaving just no space for teachers to be creative professionals like they want to be. So that is a huge reason why SEL was created. It was created to empower teachers with creative social emotional learning strategies that just blend into what they already do and help them to make a difference every single day. In another episode, we talk about the first two puzzle pieces to this holistic approach to teaching social and emotional skills. And today we'll review those two things, and then I'm going to offer some focus time on the other two puzzle pieces. So you can really see how social emotional learning can indeed be part of the natural and creative work that you want to do. All right. So let's get started. What do the arts have to do with learning in SEL? Oh, so much. Join me as we explore the depths of how these things come together through SEL, social, emotional, artistic learning. We'll look at the mindset, the methods, and the integrations that make SEL so effective. So plug yourself in. It's time to get inspired. All right, so let's face it, you need to teach social emotional skills in your classroom, right? And there's this need inside of you to do it in a way that really works with how you want to teach. You want it to become part of who you are as a teacher, and that makes total sense. Well, in order to do that, you need to really consider how you can have a holistic approach to teaching social emotional skills. And so that's where these puzzle pieces come into play. Now, in another episode, I focused in on the first two puzzle pieces. The first piece was to have embedded strategies. And these are strategies that help your students to transition into your classroom and help them focus on learning. The second of these puzzle pieces involves consistent SEL activities. These are creative activities that you can use on a regular basis to build relationships inside your classroom, both peer-to-peer relationships and teacher-to-student relationships, and help to cultivate an atmosphere in your classroom that is safe and welcoming, something that we all want for our classrooms, right? Now, those are just the first two pieces. And if you want to learn more about those, you can check out that episode, and I'll be sure to link that episode right now in the show notes. All right, now let's take a look at the other two pieces of the SEL puzzle. The third piece stays with the idea of being creative, and it involves activating your integrations through targeted lessons. These are activities and lessons that you learn and you use very intentionally to build the social emotional skills that your particular group of students needs. So for example, if you have a group of students that are really struggling with working together, you create opportunities for them to work on those particular skills. Inside my course, SEL Teacher Training, I actually have this amazing resource that provides numerous creative lessons that you can pull from that will work on specific social emotional skills. And it's done through the arts. So music, visual art, dance, drama, all these types of activities that are coupled with those social emotional skills that we want our students to practice and build. So for my class, that might need to work on collaboration skills, I can pull those lessons, and actually that's what I'm doing, pulling those lessons so that they can work on those particular skills, because I know that's what those students in front of me need, and I can target those skills. The fourth and final piece of the puzzle to really creating a holistic approach to teaching social emotional skills in your classroom is about strengthening your mindset. Now, what that does is it gives you the right kind of positivity that you need to bring with you every single day. It really helps you to reestablish the connectedness with your students, and it also gives you that confidence back that you may have been missing. Because let's face it, teaching is tough. And if you have been feeling the effects of the daily teacher drain, then it's time for you to really look at what types of things you can do, what you can improve, what you can change to match the needs that you have for being a teacher in today's classroom. Now, what I absolutely love about SEL is that this idea of teacher-centered development has always been ingrained inside the SEL method. It's not an afterthought. It's not an afterthought like what so much of the teacher SEL seems to be in other programs. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but back in 2020, all the SEL programs started just adding in this component of teacher SEL. Well, because it was needed, right? But I am so proud that with SEL, social emotional artistic learning, the teacher has always been at the center. Because let's face it, you are the most important part of the classroom. You deliver the lessons. You see and you know the students that are in front of you. And we firmly believe at the Inspired Classroom that any professional development that you receive needs to be teacher-centered so that you can create a classroom that centers on your students. And that's why our course is called SEL Teacher Training. It trains you to be the best you can be in the classroom and so that you can be the teacher that your students need. Now, all four of these puzzle pieces are just so necessary to providing that holistic approach to social emotional learning. So here's the thing. You can have good embedded strategies like that first piece of the puzzle where you use these strategies every single day, right? But then you might be missing the targeted integrations that can really help your students that are right in front of you. And you can work in those consistent strategies and have that welcoming atmosphere in your classroom where your students are really building relationships and feel so welcomed in your classroom. But if you aren't also embedding those daily strategies, then your students are missing out on learning ways to transition and focus on their learning. And of course, if you aren't benefiting from that mindset work that improves how you approach your classroom and students every single day, then you're just not able to come to the classroom as ready as you deserve to be. See, what we know is that when you combine all these puzzle pieces, you get this effect where students are more calm and more focused and more connected and are able to really transition into learning more easily day after day. And you're more calm and more focused and more connected and able to teach more effectively. And that's why having a holistic approach to social emotional learning is just so important in our classrooms today. So I want to know what you think. Okay, what puzzle piece do you want to learn even more about? The embedded strategies that work their way into your daily routines, or the consistent SEL activities that help you to build relationships within your classroom? Maybe you want to learn more about the targeted integrations that focus on particular skills that your students really need. Or maybe you really want to look at that mindset work where you strengthen yourself as a teacher. So let me know. You can DM me on Instagram or Facebook, and I would just love to hear from you. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day and keep inspiring yourself. Thanks so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe as we continue talking about arts, learning, and SEL through SEAL, social, emotional, artistic learning. If you want to learn more, go to theinspiredclassroom.com. My name's Elizabeth Peterson, reminding you to get inspired so that you can be inspiring to your students.